Okay, the next question said, how do you help a child, or let me frame it this way, how do you manage a situation where a child is constantly interrupting and correcting adults and always trying to stay ahead even when the teacher is right? First of all, let's ask ourselves, what could be the possible cause of this behavioral challenge? One, the child may be the highly intelligent or the gifted type. The highly intelligent type, the gifted type, especially if they are outgoing. If they are outgoing. Then again, another possible cause of this is the child might be impulsive, possibly ADHD traits. Child might be impulsive, so that's also a possible cause. Another one is probably that child needs attention. Probably it needs attention, so that particular behavior is a way of getting your attention. So another one, which in most cases this is it, another one is underdeveloped socio-emotional skills in their interaction with people. Probably they are not skilled in interacting with people, so they tend to cut off, tend to be ahead and things like that. So how then do you handle such a child? Understand what exactly is the cause of that particular behavior. Remember, I said in the last video that any tip I am giving is based on a general. So understand that particular child. Let it be peculiar. Let your observation be peculiar to that very child. Don't just go applying tips anyhow on in situations. It might be a different scenario altogether. So, is this child bored? Are they seeking validation or attention? Does he lack emotional regulation or impulse control? Sometimes kids behave like this. When kids behave like this, they are not trying to be rude. They're just trying to prove their worth, seek adults' approval, or gain control in an uncertain environment. So that is it. First of all, understand what is the root cause of that particular challenge. Then set clear expectations for behavior. John, I am talking. Let us finish. Or can you keep this question? Can you just write this question down when we are done? Do you understand? Set clear rules. No interrupting when teaching is going on. If you want to talk, raise your hand before speaking. Things like that. One speaker at a time. Things like that. So again, another thing you can do is to use pre-correction and gentle redirection. Redirect that particular behavior. Do you understand? Something like before you start a lesson, things like let's remember, we listen first, then respond. I'll make sure everyone gets their own turn, including you. Things like that. Do you understand? Redirect the behavior. Let them know you appreciate their contribution, but it's not yet time. Okay? Say things like, thank you for your enthusiasm. Let's hear the whole explanation first. Things like that. So it's use a redirection technique. It will help calm that student, that learner down. Why you are also please make sure you attend to his question, his explanation, things like that. Don't let him feel ignored. Okay, thank you. That's all for this particular question. Another question I got is, when a child is placed in a class that is above their developmental readiness, especially at the insistence of parents, what do you do as an educator? Okay, I posted something on Facebook some time ago. I said, if you are dealing with an issue the school management has not weighed in on, be very careful, especially in this our environment. Be very careful. So don't take it personal. I know sometimes it's we the educators that bear the brunt of some of the decisions that the parents and the school management make. And if you're a school director, if you're a school admin, one thing I will advise you is to create a clear policy on intake, learners admission, a clear policy on learners promotion, and also be ready to offer intervention in a case where the parents insist and you don't want to lose that parents. Create an intervention for that child. Most times, if these are not in place, teachers will struggle. So for the teacher, one advice I'm also going to drop for you is, please be learner-centered in all you're dealing with that child. Don't ignore that child, and also differentiate learning for that child. The child is in your class, that is in your class. If the school management insists, you can't do anything about it. So instead of spending your time feeling frustrated, ask yourself, how can I go about this? How can I handle this? So one of the ways you can do that is to stay learner-centered and differentiate learning for that child. That simply means that for that particular child, you come down to their level. It might, the child might need some extra attention here and there. Please be ready to offer that to that child. Then, another way, in a situation where the school management allows you to take these particular steps, do them in collaboration with the school management. Do this. Document your observation objectively. What are the child's academic performance, their socio-emotional development, attention span, behavior, language and communication skills, things like that. Observe, and please be very objective about it. Observe, having in mind the child's developmental stage. Also, if the school management accepts or agrees, schedule a formal meeting with the child's parents. Frame it as a collaborative conversation. Use positive language. Be honest. Start with what the child is doing well. No child is totally a dunce. Every child is intelligent. Start with what they are doing well. Then express your concerns. Do you understand? Using your observation and things like that. Emphasize on readiness. Emphasize on readiness. This child is not ready for this class. Not just on the academics. They are emotional. That is why in your observation, you observe them. How are they doing emotionally, socially, physically, things like that. So frame it. Something like, I have noticed that this child has many strengths, especially in this area. However, I have seen some challenges in areas like these, which are expected, is normal for their developmental stage. So at this stage, it makes it quite demanding for her. Things like that. Get the parents to understand and reason with you. Then, in that process, explain the long-term impact on that child. Explain that as early acceleration may not be beneficial for the child. Remember, do this as positively as possible, please. Then offer a compromise or a support plan, an IEP, things like that. Especially when the parents are insistent, offer an IEP. Okay, it helps. So you are trying to solve this challenge, still being respectful. Okay, then, like I said before, involve the school management, involve a school counselor, a school psychologist, a learning support coordinator, the principal, things like that. Okay, but my main advice to you is, please be child-centered, be learner-centered when dealing with that particular child. Okay, thank you very much. So the next question I'm going to be answering is on slow writers. Yes, sometimes most teachers have that one child that is quite very slow in copying. I must tell you, sometimes it's not not supposed to be an issue, especially when that child is doing well. But I'm going to give us a few tips here and there on how to handle that particular child. So, number one is, please understand the root cause of that slow writing. Understand. So, if you understand the root cause, it might help you to know how to start helping that particular child. Okay, like for example, the child might be having fine motor challenges, especially those in early years, even those that are not in early years. That is why I normally advise early years teachers to do activities that helps to strengthen the hand muscle. Things like molding, working with clay, painting, drawing, scribbling, writing on sand, squeezing balls, throwing balls, things like that, so as to help their hand muscles and pencil grip when the time comes. So the child who is a slow writer may be having fine motor challenges. Another one is processing speed issue. The number of the amount of time it takes to process what they are seeing on the board and to write it, that might be a challenge. So the child is needing more time to process, formulate thoughts, and write it down. Another challenge, another cause may be perfectionism, where a child is afraid of making mistakes, so they write, they erase, they write, they erase. So that is also, this perfectionism can also come in form of anxiety or lack of confidence, where they are anxious to write. I when I taught nursery 2, I had this boy who had a writing anxiety. He's very anxious whenever he picks up his this thing to write. So what I did was to always calm him down, get him close, calm him down, and allow him to write slowly. That's it. So another cause, maybe the child has attention issues, easily distracted, loses track of ideas, things like that. In that particular situation, the child needs accountability. He needs close monitoring. Then another challenge might be maybe the child is dyslexic. That's language-based learning difficulty, problem in reading, problem in spelling. It might also be the cause. So you try and observe what is the cause of that particular child's challenge. What's the cause? Why are they writing that slow? So make accommodations. An extra time will be okay, and again you can reduce the writing load, fewer sentences, shortened paragraphs, things like that. Then another alternative is voice to text, what do they call it, assistive technologies. It can help. Then pencil grip, you can get pencil grip for that particular child, especially if he's having issues with fine motor coordination. Then typing exercises will help, especially if the child is advanced, if he's an advanced learner. Typing exercises for that particular child. Then in a case of a child that is being distracted, create an environment where they are doing their tasks free of distraction. You might need to move the seats. You might need to move seats. You might need to call the child to your table. Do you understand? Things like that. Then one main thing I would want to advise such a teacher is, please avoid mounting pressure on that particular child. Help the child to take his time, form his ideas, especially those who are having challenge with articulation. Take time, form his ideas before writing. It also helps. Avoid labeling. You are too slow. You're a slow writer. Things like that, please. Avoid labeling. Then, if possible, communicate with the teacher. If it's also possible, assess that particular child to know if it is a learning disability. If it's a learning disability, there are things you can do to support. Do you understand? So collaborate with the parents. Collaborate with them. Tell them, so that even at home they can also help that child. Any exercise they can do to help that child will also be good. So that's just a few tips. I remember I've answered this particular one in the group, and that one was much more comprehensive. Thank you so much, and have a great day in class. You are doing well. Believe me, you are doing well. God bless. Thank you.